It has been about 100 days since we had the golden age for Cronos proposal that also included the 70 billion unburn for the Cronos strategic reserve. But what has really happened since, and what does it mean for the future of CRO? It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for some real talk. So don't forget to really strap in and let's find out. This video is sponsored by Interlude, the play-to-earn game on the Cronos chain. The topic surrounding the 70 billion unburn of CRO tokens has been very controversial within the Cronos community. Therefore, in this video, I would like to stick to the real data and the facts, because when emotions take over, we tend to make the wrong decisions. That doesn't mean that I fully endorse this 70 billion additional supply, but simply said, it's the new reality and we've got to live with it right now. So let's take a quick look at what has happened so far. On the 17th of March, the golden age for Cronos proposal passed the governance vote, as you can see here on Minscan. And not much later, the actual treasury was created for the Cronos strategic reserve. And here on Minscan, a link in the description down below, you can find the actual wallet that contains the 70 billion CRO, currently worth about $7 billion US. But that's not the biggest part here, because you have to take a look at what's available and what is still vesting. Vesting meaning this is still a locked amount of CRO. So currently, the Cronos strategic reserve contains only 2.3 billion CRO that they can freely use. That's the fact here. 67 billion is still vesting, and the vesting schedule can be found here. So every month, 1.16 billion CRO is vested. So slowly, guys, this amount here will shrink, while this availability number will grow and grow and grow. Then, once 5 years have passed, you can see here the vesting schedule ends, and then 70 billion CRO has been unlocked on March 17th of 2030. Anyways, I would like to focus now here on the available part, because in this wallet, there is 230 million US sitting that can be sold at any minute now by the Cronos Labs team. If they would press the sell button now, they would guarantee a big 230 mil Christmas bonus for everyone in the team. So maybe a Lamborghini per person. But okay, the simple fact now is that this amount has not moved yet. Nothing has been transferred, nothing has been sold. It is still all sitting in the Cronos strategic reserve. So to anyone saying that the whole 70 bill thing was one big scam, well, in that case, they are the worst scammers ever, because I would have taken the 230 mil at any time. But okay, it is not happening, guys. And it's also quite important because, yes, people are saying this will dilute the supply and therefore also the price should go down. But in this case, if nothing is really transferred, it isn't actually entering the real market. Therefore, the price equilibrium isn't moving at all. And you can also see that on the chart. So let's take a quick peek at what's been happening on the charts. On the 3rd of March, the day of the Cronos Unburn proposal, you can really see how divisive it was for the community. Because first, we went up all the way to about 10 cents. And only hours later, we set a yearly low at about 6.8 cents here. So really, the community had no clue how this was going to play out. But a fun fact here, since this Unburn proposal, we've only been going up. So since that point, we are up currently about 44%. So anyone buying the fear bought a great bargain. And some would say, but Coin Baron isn't all due to the Bitcoin effect. And yeah, I would say Bitcoin also, it went up. But the fun thing here for Bitcoin after the 3rd of March set a lower low. It went even 5% lower. While Cronos, you can see a quite steady increase. I don't know if it is the golden age for Cronos effect, but at least I can say that the additional supply hasn't caused a big dramatic decrease of the price as some would have expected. I can imagine that some of you might be thinking now, but Coin Baron, aren't we all just waiting until the inevitable transfer or sell here of these tokens? But I actually think there might be a different outcome as well. But we're going to talk about that after the quick word of today's sponsor. Interlude is a play-to-earn game on the Cronos chain. And the cool thing about Interlude is that you can find actual treasures with CRO in it. Normally, you need to buy that Interlude token on their website to play the game. However, right now, you can earn for free with their Rate to Earn program. You have to like, quote, comment, or retweet on Twitter to earn their in tokens for free. Check them out in the links in the description down below. Anyways, let's go back to the CRO token, because we were talking about the inevitable dilution of the Cronos supply. But is that really the case? Because I want to show you this slide here of the tokenomics roadmap, because in Q4 of 2025, we will see this item here, the quarterly burn formula based on price and block size. A question that I had back then is, how are we going to pay for this? Because if you want to burn, you need to get tokens from somewhere, so from the market or we don't know where, and you need to remove them from the supply. This is a bit of dubious speculation, but I do believe we'll use the treasury, so the strategic reserve, to fund at least a part of the quarterly burns, because I still don't know where else we can actually get the funds from. So in that case, guys, yes, we might unlock 1.16 bill, but if we burn also 1.16 bill, or maybe even more, or maybe a bit less, we don't know. We have still zero information yet about how this is going to work. But in theory, this burn alone could offset all the additional unlocked supply as well. We simply have yet very little information how this is going to work. So I find it really hard to say how this future dilution is going to play out, yes or no. I do want to remind you guys that there will be an AMA with the new lead of Cronos Lab. So that's going to be Mirko on the 11th of June in the traffic session here with Elder Carl, one of the builders in the Cronos community. So maybe Mirko is going to share some more details about this actual burn mechanism. But if not, I will, of course, keep you up to date. So don't forget to really hit the like button and, of course, strap in for more as well. Finally, I want to go back to the CRO chart, because a few people earlier told me that the idea alone of an increasing supply could put off potential investors as well, and therefore the price cannot really increase. But that's simply sad not the case. I've been investing since 2019 in CRO, so I might have a bit of a CRO bias, but I also have a lot of CRO experience, because I was there when we had the initial burn of 70 billion CROs. You can see this, guys. Here we had the burn event, and you can see directly after the announcement how quickly the price rose. But before the burn, we still had 100 billion max supply of tokens. And even in that period, guys, we still saw a big rise of the CRO token of about 600 to 700%. So yes, even with the idea of more tokens coming into circulation, the price can still pump. And also, let's zoom a bit more on that actual burn event, because yes, we had a burn and a big price pump, but do you see how quickly we went down as well? Almost fully cancelling out here this whole burn pump. So again, I don't think that the whole burn alone was that significant for the price, simply because you can see only a few weeks later, the price was back at the same levels as earlier. So again, supply isn't everything, guys. I can also see that on the XRP token, because the XRP token is increasing every day in supply. There's a max supply of also 100 billion tokens, but still, now we are in 2025, still the XRP token has more than doubled in its supply since the 2018 cycle, but we're still making an attempt at going to a new all-time high. So yes, it is still possible that even though supply is increasing, and we don't even know if supply is going to increase for CRO, still we can go up in price. Personally, I find the increasing demand of a token of far greater importance than the supply of a token. So I'm really watching with great interest how the Cronos team is going to increase demand from the Crypto.com point of view, but also the Cronos chain point of view. And I also want to reiterate that while we still know very little, we do know that there is unlocks every month happening into the strategic reserve, but we don't know when they're going to transfer stuff, and we also don't know how this burn is going to affect the supply equation as well going forward. So Still, guys, a lot of unknowns. I hope we might get a few more answers in this AMA upcoming. So don't forget to really, again, strap in and, of course, hit this like button. Let me know, though, in the comments down below what you think about the 70 billion burn. And if you've got more questions about the actual proposal, I do have a full video here if you want to learn more.